Great. I'm Ernesto, and I'm your host here on the Uranus Happens Show. I'm a professional Uranian astrologer, and I'm here with my friend Beretta, who is an intuitive counselor and psychic medium. Together, we're going to be doing some free live Uranian astrology and psychic readings for everybody. So you can catch our live stream over on YouTube. That stream is actually live now. I would actually really recommend checking that out because, the astrology is so much more interesting when you can actually see what's going on the screen. So this is the Akashic record. This is the science of God is what we're doing here. It's really pretty cool. So I hope that you get a chance to check that out on our YouTube channel, and you can always go over to eastrologer.net on my personal website, and there's the link to our show there. So Veretta, are you there with me?
All right.
Okay, now quick question. So, in the Western astrology world, people like to hem and haw about the whole concept of, the summer solstice. And it's all of this, new age crap that people decide to post every single year. And, then they do it again around the winter solstice when it's going to be this new year. And it's about like the dawn of a new era and, like you coming into your own personal power. All of this woo-woo trash that just that applies to literally every person on the planet. But it doesn't really say a whole lot about us. Now, just out of curiosity, because that happened this past week that we entered summer, how was your Tuesday? Did anything special or monumental happen to you on that day?
Tuesday. Well, I would say my longtime partner came home after doing work for a few months, and other than that, which could have been any given day, they came home that day was because it was my birthday the previous day. Other than that, no, not really.
Yeah, see?
Not just all going on.
So all of that new age trash that people like to write about on these types of events, there's really nothing significant about it. All it really means in terms of science is that the sun was at 0 degrees of a cardinal sign. So that means it's going to go back to its natural point on the Aries axis where it's in that neutral position. Here, I'll show you. So this is one of those things that I don't understand about Western astrologers, that they get all excited about this. So like this sun... let me get up my demonstration tools here. That sun that's out there on that third ring of information, a few days ago, that would have been on the same spot as this Aries point here. So when this was over here, that's when everybody's talking about all of these big things that needed to change and happen, and that we're going to be so, this big landmark stuff that's going to happen in your life. Yeah, we don't do that over here because, unless if you have something very specific, like a planetary axis point that's being triggered at that degree in your chart, not a damn thing is going to happen. And, and still there's at least 3 other layers of checking that we need to do to make sure that this is going to apply to you. So that's one of the differences between us and other astrologers is that, we don't buy into all of the sensationalism that everybody likes to get into. So that's I just wanted to give a quick PSA about that. And we are going to get off to our phone lines here. And this is going to be a new caller here from area code 954. I do see that we have Maria and Katerina on the lines. 2 of our subscribers. We'll catch up with you guys in a moment. But for right now, we're going to get off to caller from 954. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth? Hello.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Lisa.
Lisa, okay. And what's your date of birth?
May 27, 69.
At what time?
Oof, I'm not sure about that.
It
doesn't matter.
It makes a huge difference. So, there's going to be like an entire set of questions that I may be unable to answer, but I'll see what I can get with this. Where were you born?
I was born in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica.
In Jamaica. All right. Got it. You don't happen to know Tamika, do you?
Jamaica? No.
Okay,
No.
She was born in Kingston, so she's one of our subscribers. That was just a totally random question. It's unusual because I know our atlas and the software isn't very great. So I always like to point these things out. But yeah, great. I got you. So, Lisa, born in Jamaica on May 27th. Do you have a specific question for us, or do you just want a general reading today?
This is general reading.
Okay, perfect. All right, Beretta, go ahead.
All right, Lisa, welcome. Greetings. Take a minute to get your energy here. That doesn't take long. You're already settled down. All right, first thing I get about you is your healer material, Lisa. And I think occasionally that you get sidelined or sidetracked with where you should be, what you should do, who you should get to help you, all the normal kind of questions about direction moving forward and whatnot. I also get that you have family that's caring for you, living and past, and that there may have been, and maybe every once in a while when you're in that place, still some angst that goes along with that. I also feel like there may be significant changes coming at you very shortly, ready or not. I don't know if you're aware of those that are happening or you're just finding out about something that may be unsettling. Just know that those changes are going to actually make a positive end result for you. And even though you think, I don't know how to not make a positive ending, it will. It actually will. You have to give it a little bit. And the struggle is real, so don't elude you or let anybody else give you crap about the fact that it may be a struggle, whatever's coming.
Okay.
I feel like, now you've got questions. Now I'm getting the question marks popping up. Because there's a lot of info there, what direction would you like me to go into right now that you're popping up with little bits of maybes or what if?
Well, I was told before that I'm going to also meet someone who will also help me towards that direction that I'm heading. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to know if is that someone that I would start a relation?
Well, okay, I see two possibilities here. So maybe two different people, or that one is the same person. But yes, you're going to meet that individual. I'm going to go along with the bandwagon and say, yes, you're going to meet that individual. But that may be also work-related, or not necessarily job type of work, but career or, whatever your altruistic side is, that person's going to help it shine. That person's going to help it out. So if that very way would be with the changes that I see coming. But again, remember I said there's going to be a little angst to it, and it's not going to be sweat-free, if you will. So don't worry about whatever this is that this individual brings. If it is more than one individual, just know that you're going to have an opportunity to create a new life, and you're also going to have an opportunity in your life with this partner. And I'm not able to say whether it's one person or not. So don't worry about when you meet the first one, because they're both male. They're both significantly attractive, I guess, or appealing to you. So it may be difficult to know which one is which. You may even start one thinking this is going to be my woohoo happily ever after, and it ends up it helps you through life with your career, your occupation. No, that's not right. Whatever it is that you're going to want to do for yourself is to be in service of.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Ernesto, can you give her a little bit more of a formal date as far as when you see that happening?
Well, the time is now, to be clear. I mean, like, I'm taking a look at your chart, and if you can see on our YouTube channel, where I'm working on your chart live, that you see all of these colored lines and squares on the screen here, and these are all of the different stories that are happening in your life right now. So it seems like you've got one, two, three, four. You have four different stories that are at play right now. Now, I do have a quick question for you, Lisa. Do you work in medicine, or do you work, or did you recently recover from some health issues?
I did work in medical before, a while back, and I'm having stomach issues right now. It's not recovered.
Okay, all right. Are you thinking about entering the medical field again?
I was thinking about doing energy healing.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So
that's who
then,
the person. I mean,
okay, so yeah, I see you, as far as like the spiritual work is concerned, that like I was just reading your chart as like a regular work issue, and if we're gonna apply this to spirituality, then yes, this would definitely be the time that you would want to get some more knowledge or information about how to do something like energy practice. That's gonna be a strong thing for you. I feel like that career wise, if you went back into the medical industry, that you would do very well over there. And that, the stomach problem that you're going through right now, that it's not too much longer, and then they're going to come to a solution with that, so that'll be taken care of. Speaking to Veretta's part about the relationship, I feel like that you're being presented with a lot of different people right now, like all of these new energies or bodies, for the lack of a better term, are just coming into your environment, and they're starting to put all these questions into your mind, like, oh, do I want to spend time with this person? Do I want to spend time with this person, or that one? And so you have Misters X, Y, and Z in this whole picture, but you're also going through a pattern that you talk to somebody, and then it's almost like as if they ghost you in some way, or as if they're just simply taken away. That's no longer a possibility. So my whole thing about the relationship, my advice to you is that don't find it distressing. When one of these people falls down, another one will be right around the corner. So, as far as the specific time frame or person that you would meet to settle down with in a long-term relationship, that really does require your birth time. So, that's a question I wouldn't be able to answer without that information. But what I can tell you on a general level is that yes, you will have lots of relationships that are entering into your life right now. So, don't think twice or sort of second guess yourself about wanting to spend a little bit of time with somebody in a romantic way, like to go on dates and that sort of thing. That you have all of these new people that are coming into your life, and that's all for a specific reason. And it's all good things. Only good things can come from it. And since your health issues are sort of clearing themselves up, I don't really foresee like any sorts of difficulties where we're going to end up having a conversation about the morning after, and then all of these big regrets. So I think that just go for it and keep staying in your lane. You're doing all the right things that you need to be doing right now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hey Lisa, so do us a favor. Go out to my website, eastrologer.net, and use the contact form at the bottom of the site. And then and leave us some feedback on your free reading here with us today. And that'll give you a ticket into our raffle drawing for July, when we do a free Spirit Circle pass. That'll be coming up next month.
Okay. Wait. Go ahead and give it to me again.
It was eastrologer.net.
Okay, eastrologer.net. Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was great to have you on the show. Thanks for calling in, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share.
All right, will do.
Take care, and until next time. Okay, then. So we are going to take our next caller here, and this is going to be from area code 904. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, my name is Stacy, 1216. Need a year?
Yes.
72.
72, all right. And that was 1216?
616.
16. At what time were you born?
8:30 p.m.
Okay, very good. And where were you born?
Spanish Town, Jamaica.
Okay, another Jamaica. Wow. Got lucky today.
Right.
Okay, perfect. So I got you here, Stacy. Do you have a specific question, or do you just want a general reading today?
Can I get a general, please? Thank you.
Perfect. All right, Veretta, go ahead.
No problem. She says so politely, please and thank you. All right, Stacey. Take a breath. Think of the bottom of your feet. Just kind of get in a happy space right now. So what I got initially as you started to chatter, and I tuned in, was you got a little bit of heart going on, either I would say upset or residual thereof of something else going on that wasn't such a happy experience you're feeling. I want to tell you, I'm getting about that is it will go away. It will. I promise it will. It seems to me like you got, you're even tempered enough that your nature is such that you give and take. It's not always a nasty catastrophe style of life, but you just ebb and flow with the things that come at you. I do want to tell you, Spirit is chiming in pretty strong for you right now. They're wanting to let you know you've not made a mistake. So if that is part of the conundrum that you got going on right now, hear them say no. You did not make a mistake. If this was about a decision or a person, relationship, whatever, just know that there was a point to it, even if it escapes you right now. There isn't anything more or better you could have done, and that there isn't anything more that you need to do at this point. So if that's a relationship that went south, just know that that is something that you'll understand later down the road as to why that took place. Or someone that's giving you strife, basically, is what I'm picking up. I also want to say that I don't know where this is coming from or what direction this will take, but I hear you've got happy right around the corner. You've got happy right around the corner. And I feel like this, when I feel the essence of happy, I feel like this is something brand new. This is something that you maybe hadn't even hoped for or knew it was possible. It may have been something that you gave up and decided you weren't even going to attempt to do, but there's some kind of happy that's coming at you very shortly that will make this whatever amount of icky in the heart go away. It does feel to me like whatever the brand new is, it's going to be extremely joyful. Extreme. So, like, I got to tell you, Stacey, I don't know how, let's see, 70? You might be. So, the feeling of this kind of brand new, the sentiment they're trying to make is that this feels like this baby. And I don't think it's your baby. I think this would be maybe a grandchild to you or someone that you can take care of but not be saddled with the responsibility or burden of. So it sounds like you've got pretty coming. Just hang in there. After the rain, the flowers bloom, and you kind of just need to wait for the blooming flowers because they're gorgeous and they're going to smell great, whatever they are. Okay. Ernesto, do you have a little bit more for her?
Yeah, so Stacy, quick question. Did you go through a breakup recently?
No.
Would you say that there is some failed relationship that you're still recovering from or trying to process?
Yes.
Okay, so so what I'm catching for you in particular, Stacy, is that you're really in the healing process where you're just starting to integrate all of this information, and the experience of this failed relationship. It's starting to make sense to you, and it's like you're getting a sense of clarity that you didn't have before. Now, it's what Veretta was saying is as far as like. Having somebody to take care of, I really see that, that you in particular having somebody else to redirect that energy as you're still trying to process all of these things that just went down, that's something that you would very much benefit from. Now, whether or not that's a grandchild, that's a separate inquiry that I would have to look up here for you. But I do definitely pick up on the fact that, that there is somebody else and it's going to have to do with you taking care of them, or you showing some sort of goodwill, like to be a big brother, big sister, just to be there for like somebody who really went through something very difficult. That these are the things that, or
Well,
I'm
I'm in
sorry.
the health.
Okay.
I'm in the healthcare field.
Oh, so you
So,
are in healthcare. Okay.
and I reached out to a couple of people about starting like a nonprofit geared towards the elderly or kids.
Okay. All right.
So,
And where are you going? Where are you headed with that right now?
well, I want to start my own facility, but it's getting help, like grants or stuff and getting a place. So it's in the groundwork.
Okay.
So I just got my degree in healthcare management, but that's a goal of mine.
Well, this is, the next 12 months, we'll say that like the ball is really starting to roll and actually kind of fast. So if it seems, anytime you get news or word about something in the lines of, the healthcare management that you're discussing, do that right away because, you're gonna. There's so many steps in that whole process to make an endeavor like that come true, that you really don't want to wait. And your chart's really hot right now for big expansion and powerful changes. So, I would really get yourself out there and just really keep working on that every single day. So whenever you get something, you can do the research, but the research that you need to do that right now. Don't wait 2 days and say, well, I'm overwhelmed with all this other stuff. No, that needs to really take priority because only good things will come of it. And, this is the empire that you're creating for yourself. So I would tend to think that would be something that you would always want to invest your time in. And I really think that, that really wonderful things will come from that. So my biggest advice to you would be just do the work and, really on a daily basis, just always poke your nose into something because it's going to create some great things for you. Something I really see in particular, this is somewhat odd, is, you're really going to want to look into like a facilities manager because I feel like that the concept of waste management is going to be done a little bit differently where you're operating. And that's going to be a major selling point. So I don't know what that refers to specifically. There's some more information you may need to, get over time. But, really keep an eye out for waste management, that's something, or whatever custodial services, that you're looking at hiring or outsourcing to that. Those are going to be something that's going to give your business a unique edge. And I know that sounds really obscure, but that's what your chart is suggesting to me here.
Okay. All right.
All right, great. Well, Stacy, it was lovely to have you on the show. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and go out to my website to leave us a review. That does get you into the raffle for a free Spirit Circle ticket for next month.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling in, and we'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Until next time.
Okay. Thanks. Okay.
Okay, so we are going to get off here to our next caller from area code 614. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Tamika, 52676.
Tamika?
Yes.
52676. Got it. And what time were you born?
I believe it may have been 3:30.
Okay, and where were you born?
Columbus, Ohio.
No, where?
Where?
Yes, where were you born?
St. Anne's Hospital.
What state was that?
Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, got it. Perfect. All right. And Tamika, do you have would you like a general reading today, or do you have a specific question about an issue?
Yes. Yeah, I'll take a general.
Okay, all right, Veretta, go ahead.
Okay, Tamika, take a breath. Think of the bottom of your feet as you exhale. All right. So there's lots of, disturbance in the force, if you will, around you. Nothing wrong per se. That doesn't mean there's anything bad. It just means you've got a lot going on. And even if it's just in your head, continuously thinking for the way to make life better, it feels to me like you overwhelm yourself. So the sense is Spirit is wanting to guide you. Most definitely, you get direction. You actually can guide yourself on your own intuition. But with a lot of chatter going on in your head, it's difficult to settle down and hear what that's all about. So you've got some ability at intuiting issues or intuiting questions. I would suggest that now would be the time, even though you don't think you can. You may think you can't do this, and that's not something that you would be willing to try. Get some tools. Get a pendulum, or get a tarot deck, or get an oracle deck, and try. See what you can get. See what comes up. Because you, right now, it feels to me that you can have, but can feel a powerful connection with Spirit. And they're really trying to help you put some time aside. Literally, they're doing this in unexpected manners and ways that you wouldn't, think that was them or accept as okay. By that I mean you're missing appointments, or you're losing out on things and you all of a sudden end up with lots of time on your hands. This is Spirit's way of saying, settle down and listen to us. If you can't do it for yourself, we'll help you manage your time and do it for you. So this is one of those times where I'm going to tell you, Tamika, it's only going to get worse unless you settle down and hear them. It won't get better, because they're adamant that you need to respect that they are absolutely there on your side and capable of handing you information. You just don't know how to. And you don't know that you want to know how to, and you think you can't. So Spirit is in you to the well, and they're pushing your face down in the water, so you might as well take a drink before you drown. So now this is where you would say, well, that's why I called you. Yep, that's exactly why you called us. But Spirit's telling you need to listen to you and let them come through with that information that you need to get right now. You have answers available to you. You have questions that you want to know definitive answers to, and those answers are available to you. So I would say get settled in your head, go at everything one question at a time. What do I do about this? Well, how do I handle that? Well, where is this coming from, and where am I going? Do that one question at a time and see the answers that you get, because I think right now you have change opportunities in front of you, but that's not going to happen unless you make the steps and stride to connect with those answers. So in that light, having that been said, first of all, I want to tell you that once you start making the connection to Spirit and they start giving you clear-cut yes and no, high and dry answers, life's going to get so much better for you, and like really quickly. So it's just a matter of pulling triggers on things that are outstanding or right in front of you that you've dealt with for a really long time, that you don't know what to do about, and you don't know that it's ever going to make a difference or get any better. And Spirit's trying to tell you, yeah, it is. It is going to be absolutely better. Just sit down and decide to listen. I feel like you've got input from outside, and whether that's a child or someone that you possibly listen to, I hear that you've got someone that gives you input during times of struggle. And so listening to them would also, don't pump them for information. You have to let them come to you organically and just listen to what the information is that you get. It may not always be happy or what you want to hear, but you're getting solid information from source. And no, they're not trying to dazzle and wow you. It's just a matter of they can let Spirit talk through them, and they let that happen. They translate, and they don't care where it comes from. They're just trying to help you. So just pay attention to that. Now, I know there's not one thing in there, Ernesto, for you to grab onto, but maybe you can give her a little bit more of something that's coming.
Sure, yeah. So,
Are you kidding me? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, great. So, Tamika, it's really funny.
Everything.
So, if you're watching our YouTube stream right now, you'll see all of these green boxes that I just put up on your chart. So, we have some symbols that are repeating themselves 2 times. So, that's always really significant. And we also have a Poseidon that's happening in a third place down here that I'm going to highlight.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto the US 23 South ramp to Delaware.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
She's
Um,
driving.
I understand. So, what's really funny about this is the fact that you have Sun, Poseidon, and Jupiter that are all showing up. Poseidon is already in a triple pattern, or it will be very shortly once that second ring of information advances by age. So, in about
Turn
like
left
6 months or so, you're going to be affected pretty hard by what's going on in your life. Now, Veretta's saying all of these things about, listening to your conscience and listening to your inner voice. Now, this is what's hilarious is when you look up the definition of Sun, Poseidon, Jupiter in the book, in the rule book for what that actually refers to, then it's actually talking about fortunate mental qualities, finding wisdom, from the right harmony between matter and mind, between
Continue on
heavenly and
US
earthly.
23 South for
And
29
this is,
miles.
days devoted to meditation, to be a teacher, the inner voice of of somebody's conscience. So, this is what this is all coming up to right now. On their own, those 3 planets don't mean anything bad. There's nothing bad that can happen from those 3 planets on their own. But what I will say is that, you're definitely being presented right now with some major life challenges, where, you're just sort of being forced to learn, this is my instinct, this is my gut instinct, and I have to follow this. And if I don't, bad things happen. So, like this, you will be continued to be tested with those abilities every single day about where you're, how you're following your instincts. And that plays, number one, a huge role in intuition, because remember that intuition is not really a learned behavior. It is in the sense that you can practice it and sort of sharpen it, but as opposed to like learned information from like when, let's say, abuse or something else like that, then that creates a certain behavior pattern. Intuition, when you're tapping into those energies, there's not really a learned behavior pattern so much. It's just something that I practice this. I'm being told right now I need to do ABC, so I'm going to make ABC come true. And so you're just going to continue to have this over and over again, and like I want to say the next 6 months are going to be really hot for this particular issue where, you're just going to say, well, I missed the bus and I'm kind of sorry that I did, but that's my own fault because I decided to get distracted with this other stuff when that voice inside of my head was trying to tell me to do something else. So, Tamika, the big thing for you right now is just pay attention to those cues, whatever that inner voice is trying to tell you, listen to it because you're really being challenged to make sure that you're paying attention. And I can tell you from personal experience, when you're not paying attention, unfortunate things happen. So many years ago, I was involved in a car accident. This is actually how I met Veretta. I think I met her in something similar to the concept of spirit circle. And I said, well, I was in a car accident, but it was my fault. Meaning that I got mowed over at an intersection that I was crossing because I was paying too much attention to my phone and what was happening there, as opposed to actually looking at the cars that were on the road and this big Ford F-250 that was making a right turn. So that was absolutely my fault that I got hit. And it's one of those instances where, something unfortunate, very unfortunate like that could happen to you. But, if you're paying attention, then that doesn't happen. It's like I always tell people, pay attention. It really does make a difference. So, Tamika,
And
does,
good luck with your driving there.
yeah, does that make sense to you?
Well, the car accident I already got into, so hopefully I won't have any more of those. But yes.
Okay, then. So,
Yeah. I think you'll be fine. Just
I
start
try
with
to listen. I try to listen to the voice I've always had ever since I was 5. But sometimes it's hard to differentiate between my own voice and the voice. Sometimes the voice is a little bit stronger, so I can differentiate, but sometimes I don't know if it's my own wishful thinking or a feeling. So
Yeah,
I still
so
haven't mastered that all the way yet, but I do understand what you're saying.
What you need to do with that is learn to differentiate, and by that I mean get right with your guides, establish a rapport, learn to know who you can trust, and then let that be your source of communication. And in order to know who you can trust, once you know who your guides are, and I don't mean sit down in the lotus position and chant Om for 8 hours on end. I mean, do some meditating, get quiet in your head, and start asking, who are my guides? Who is with me? And feel that. Don't trust that until you feel that. Don't worry about what you hear in your head. Feel the energy that comes through. That way you are establishing a rapport with the same individual over and over and over. You can determine what's ego, what that squawky little voice inside of you is trying to do, and your guide is trying to do. And you can distinguish between their vocabulary. First of all, know that any time that you're sitting down to listen to spirit, if they become derogatory at all, that's your ego. If there's any kind of talking about, well, you deserve better than they do, or they're a piece of crap, or that or any kind of derogatory is not spirit. It's ego driven. Spirit is lower energy. It's not somebody you want in there. So that's where you learn to understand who you can trust and establish a rapport with those guys, and then ensure that they heal. All of this is within your means. You just need to find somebody that can handhold you just for about a minute and guide you through meditation, guide you through sitting in circle to help you develop that. And because it is so strong and innate in you, it'll step up right away. There won't be any doubt in your mind what you're hearing or what's going on. But it's going to take a minute on your part to settle down and learn to listen and understand how to derive that this is the information that you want to receive. Okay? It really is that easy. It just takes time. Time is what you need for that.
And also, to add to this, something else that I find personally very helpful is pay attention to any language cues, because your spirit guides may speak in a different vernacular than what your normal ego would. So, like for me, my normal ego is very much a square. Like it's very plain, it's very straightforward. But my spirit guides, they do things like they'll refer to me as like bro or hun. And that's odd when I start to say those things, because that's not part of my normal just words that I use on a regular basis. So when I hear myself saying those things, I think, okay, so somebody's trying to come through here. Let's pay attention to what's being said. So you may find in your own internal voices that that they speak to you in a vernacular that's a little bit different, or the way that they reference things, and that's just a cue to you that whenever I hear those words, I know that somebody else is coming through. Okay, then. So
hang in there.
It could be.
Go ahead, Tamika.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
What did you?
Oh, I was just gonna say they come in different ways, though.
They do.
Either a voice or a dream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very true. So
and that's appropriate. That's very appropriate. But you need to learn who to listen to. You have choice. So you determine who that individual is, how they come through, and ask them to come through in your waking state so that you can be notified the minute you can do something about it while you're awake when it's coming through to you, and then you have choice. You can deal with it then. And you don't have to worry about, well, was that real or was that a dream? Well, the dream state is the easiest way for them to get through to you because your barriers aren't up. So basically what that's saying to me is that your barriers are too in place. They're too strong, and they can't come to you in your waking state. Again, I'm going to say, sit down and meditate. Just sit down and get quiet in your head. Do your protocol, which would be to ground, protect, and center, and then open up to see what comes through and learn to identify them immediately, because that's the first thing you want to do is establish rapport with whomever's coming through to be sure that they're a righteous guide and that's somebody that you want directing you. And you can do it just like that. It's just that easy. And I know it sounds too easy, but it really is that easy if you actually want to do this, and want to learn how to do it right, then you sit down and do it. You just sit down and just do it. You can do it. You can do it in your car driving. But I would say to begin with, get a little comfortable with the thought of in your head to hear the quiet instead of directing the traffic, because you're pretty proactive in your head where the noise is concerned, and you banter back. So this is where you just want to be quiet and don't answer, don't reflect, don't correspond with those people or the ego that's talking to you until you hear something strong enough that you can identify with and understand, oh, that's not typical. Ernesta says, that's not the typical vernacular that I usually hear when somebody's coming through giving me crap. So maybe this is something that I should listen to.
And remember, you always reserve the right to dismiss, to just make them go away. If it's just nothing but psychic attack that you never asked for, just tell them to go away. You can always do that too.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay.
Well, it was great to have you.
Take care.
Yeah, take care, and we will catch up with you soon. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share.
Thank you.
Until next time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we do have a caller from area code 252 that's on the line right now. I don't see that your hand is up, so I'm not going to take the call right now. If you'd like to speak with us, just be sure to put your hand up on the line, and then we'll get to you after our next caller here, who is going to be with Katerina from area code 845. Hi, Katerina. Are you there with us?
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Welcome. You're on the show.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. It's great to have you. Now, Katerina, I know you've called us in before. So, quick question: would you like a general today, just like a blessing for the day, or do you have a question about an issue?
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's why I called in. I was like, oh, astrology birthday. I was like, I have to.
All right, great.
So I have a work question, or if you want to give me a general, whichever you feel is best.
Well, throw us your work question, and let's get into that, because that gives me some guideposts to work with here.
Okay. Thank you. I have projects I want to present. I don't know his birthday, but he's a gentleman that lives in California, and I want to present him with my projects to see if they'll work together. His name starts with the letter J. I was wondering if you see this, maybe this upcoming week being a good time to do so, if you see us collaborating.
Is it a virtual meeting, or is it like in person?
Yeah. I would just be reaching out to him through email at first.
All right, sure. Yeah. Okay. All right, and his name started with a J, you said?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Beretta, what do you pick up?
Okay, so as you were getting and then you were validating, in a way, so I will say, you have more than one project that you're going to present or would be a direct result of what you're going to present, and he won't take them all. So don't present them as a all or nothing kind of thing. Also, he is an in-person kind of guy. So I'm not sure how far away you are, but I'm going to guess the East Coast because of the way I feel like you'd have to make the slip to get there. Yeah, so he is going to, after the virtual meeting, he is going to want to see you, and I would say you need to present that option first, because if he seems like he's wishy-washy, or I don't know, like, not like he's glazed over, it's like he's hearing you, he's just like not all sold on the idea, offer to come to give this to him in person, because I think he needs to know that whomever he is working with is the kind of person that can get there to him if he's not to budge. And, I mean, he will. There'll be times where he does travel a lot, so that's not the point. But, like, he wants people to come to him kind of thing. So you're the one that's going to have to. So now, as I looked at that immediate, and all this is with like while you're talking, okay?
Wow.
Not being able to speak it as fast as I can get it, right? So you may also then end up having to consider moving to wherever it would be convenient for this to happen. So all in that split second of happy birthday to you, Spirit just delivered to you. This is how I work now, because these are the answers that I get from that little bit of information. Says
That's
yes,
brilliant.
he will take you on. Okay, so now telling you this means that you then now can influence the outcome to make it different by doing something than you would have otherwise done, because you know the end result. So I'm having you a gift. I'm handing you a very precious gift, but I'm also handing you something that could be very sharp. So it's delicate. Don't act any different. Just hear me say act accordingly. If you want to work with this guy, the answer is yes. He will take you on. He will take you on, probably with limitations, but the fact is yes, he will take you on. You're going to have to make these decisions, because you're the one that's going to schlep back and forth until you get to the point to where you're gone more than you're home, and there's no point trying to keep that going. Or there's some kind of, catastrophe that just necessitates you to decide, well, I can't be there and here too, so I don't know. One of them's got to go, and there's that. So, because this is a dream project for you. This is a lifetime come true kind of project for you. And this is something that you've always, once you consciously decided this is what you wanted to do, you would want this to be an end result type of thing. So what I'm saying to you is, going to get this. It can be a little, it can be substantial, or not. If you get cocky about it, now that I said the end result is yes, happy birthday to you. And I will let Ernesto give you more about what I just said in that brief split second, however long it took me to spit the answer out to. He probably can give you a lot more detail.
So I thank you. I have to say that's just amazing. I didn't catch how you said to present it to him, like all or nothing. Like I didn't understand that. Like
there's factions of, or there's, I don't know, either what you're presenting has many facets, or there's something. So what I'm hearing is he won't want all those facets. He'll only want some. But the reality is he'll want those some if you can present it in a manner that he will accept, because in reality, you're going to get all those facets. You just have to come under his umbrella to do it.
Gotcha.
Okay? Which is not a bad deal, because his umbrella is vast. I don't know who this guy is, but I'd reach. So you pretty much got, under the sun, anything you want.
Wow.
Okay,
yes. I see what you mean
now.
So you'll
stand. Don't balk when he says, I don't know, and be very, very conscious that he needs you to say to him, it may be a better visual than it is, it may be a better in-person visual than it is a video visual, so let me meet with you and we can discuss what I'm trying to present, and then you can decide how little you think you would want to be on board with. I mean, you're going to cater that to your vernacular, but does that make sense now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Ernesto?
Yeah, so
back to you.
Katerina, taking a look at this in your chart. So, Beretta had a birthday very recently, and this question always comes up that, what do Uranian astrologers do with birthdays? Well, we don't, because the way that this works is you ask a question, you get an answer. Everything else is get the hell out. It's very specific like that. We don't sensationalize it in the way that Western astrologers do and say, well, your sun is going to be approaching your 9th house in Libra, and all of this wonderful stuff is going to happen, and then it's going to be conjunct your midheaven in Scorpio. No, we don't do that. That's just garbage. That's too generic and doesn't really say anything. So I asked two separate questions here in your chart that we want to take a look at here. And if you're watching our YouTube stream, it does really make this easier. But, you know, in this particular case for you, what I'm noting is that you have not that color. You have this green box here on the Aries point. Both of those, the midpoint of that is going to lead towards this arrow that I've already sort of illustrated for you here. Now, when we look at that, that's your body, that's your soul out in the world, you know, like you this coming year ahead. So we take a look at that to see what's happening in your life. And when we move the pointer to this particular spot in your chart, then we start to see that, you know, number one, you have a lot of things that are symmetrically equidistant to each other. So what's really interesting about life in general is that as you, depending on the time of year you were born, as you approach the ages of like 43 to let's say 47 on the high end, your entire chart becomes in aspect to itself, meaning that the way that the second ring of information advances at 1 degree per year, they all become at the same exact spot in your chart. So like in this example, if we have this red arrow here, which is the midpoint of the both of those green squares, but the reality is that those green squares really are still the same energy because they're both on these arrows here. So that means that when we ask questions about your chart, that everything is a major potential right now. The only thing we have to do is to line up that third ring of transits to see what's actually going to come true for you. Now, in this particular case, when we're asking a question about a job, which is a separate inquiry, so we ask 5018, which is that mathematical value. In the rule book, this is defined as shared relationships involved in projects, marital bonds. So we ask that question.
Wow.
This guy that you're going to be working with, he is going to seem extremely like a marriage partner. You know, that the job that you undertake with this person is going to feel so intense, it's almost like you're married, and you're not. I just want to let you know now that don't make it weird. You know, don't try to cross a line. That will develop in its own time. If that's really a potential there, I would need his information to be able to evaluate that. But from what I can tell from your chart, it's, you know, there's going to be an inclination like, am I in love here? Am I in a relationship? Because it really seriously feels like that. And that's just a feature of you working on this project in general. I do feel in the next, like, I want to say next week or two, that the time is in fact now. So when this node in that third ring begins to travel more towards where that thick orange line is that I highlighted for you here, that'll be in a few days. I want to say that it's going to be like at the end of this coming week or so. But that's going to be when the window of opportunity begins to highlight itself. Now, it's not to say that that's when the project actually begins, because that's probably still another month or two away. But, you know, you actually, you know, igniting the fire to make this happen, that's going to be the time for you for that to happen. That's going to be coming up this week. So make sure over the next few days, as you're getting ready to, you know, present yourself and your ideas and everything, you give it your all, because this is a big deal. I don't think you really understand what a huge undertaking this career change is going to be for you, but this is going to feel like, you know, an ultimate marriage that's disguised as a work project. So just always keep that in mind, and that, you know, you're always just in love with what you're doing, and that don't make it weird with the other person, because then that just makes it go the wrong way. But I really feel like that so long as you keep that in mind, that, you know, you're just going to be beyond happy with the way everything is going to start going. And I do agree that a move is going to be happening for you pretty soon, and the move is probably going to be somewhat distant, you know, like out of state, not really local. But that's just because, you know, the job has presented new opportunities for you that are a lot more exciting than where you're at currently.
Wow. Ooh, I can't tell you how happy that makes me. Wow. Both of you are just phenomenal.
Well, I'm really glad that
Happy
you decided to
birthday
call
to
in
you.
today. Yes, and happy birthday to you, Katerina. Be sure to go out there to my website and leave us a review. That does get you into the drawing for the raffle for a free Spirit Circle pass next month.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Thank you both. Many blessings and so much love. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for calling in. Until next time, take care.
Take
Okay, so we are going to get off to our caller here from area code 252. Hi, you're on the Uranus Happens Show. May I have your name and date of birth?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you great. What is your name?
Okay, great. My name's Anne. Birthday is August 7th, 1985, 5:05 a.m., Port Jefferson Station, New York.
Okay, perfect. All right, I got all of that. And Port Jefferson Station.
Or Port Jefferson is fine if you don't have the station.
Oh no, I got that one. It's all here for you now. And would you like a general reading, or do you have a specific question about an issue?
Not really a specific question, but a few more like semi-general concerns having to do with career, money, stability.
Okay, all right, great. Got
Finances.
it. Yeah, all of that good stuff. All right, Veretta, what do you have?
Yeah,
for
all that have I most recently. Sorry, I just want to say
No, don't do that.
I became a mother
don't do
within
that,
the
don't do
past
that.
year,
Don't
and
do
so
that.
that's also.
That makes it worse.
Ed,
Hello?
don't tell me anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't tell me
okay.
anything.
Great.
I don't operate like that.
Okay, I'm
just-
sorry. I wasn't speaking directly to you. I was continuing my question,
Oh,
but that's okay. I'll just leave it there.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We got a lot less limitation liability to work with that way. On my end, what I do when I hear, first of all, the stress in your voice is tremendous. So I want you to take a minute to just take a breath, if you would, if you can. And as you exhale, kind of just think of the bottom of your feet. Do that another time. All right. There we go. All right. So, Anne, let me just say right off the top, you're going to be fine. There are adjustments that have to be made. There are things that I see that you can cope with. There are others that maybe not as easy as you would like to think, but this is going to be a time where a lot of stretching is going to have to occur on your part. There are things and people you're going to have to let go. There are, like, I have to stay right here, kind of mentalities that are going to have to be adjusted with. And the reality of it is you're going to do fine through all of that because you can. You have to. You know it ultimately comes down to you. And so this is where you get to say, get off my pole. I don't even want you on my totem stick because you're dragging me down and killing me, and I just don't need you. I don't need that. I need to survive. And I will. I'll be fine. Now, if you're worried about having to put your foot down about something or demanding something that's by your right to have, then you'll have to decide in the moment whether it's worth putting your foot down for. Ultimately, you're probably not going to get what you want or what you think you deserve or what you desire. So is it going to be worth just the fight? Or do you adjust in understanding how to cope with what you've got and move on? Now, having all that been said, hear me say one more time, Anne, you're going to be fine. Once the decisions that you don't know what you have yet are decided, which you'll do, and you'll do appropriately in the manner that you need to, right down the line, methodically, one after one, everything that comes at you, you'll make the decision, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Will you move? Most possibly. You want to? Probably not. you need to, based on the energy that I'm feeling right now, you probably need that fresh start. Not easy, I know, but that's down the line. It's not here. It's not right now. It's once you've got all your ducks in a row and you can make it comfortably, not under duress. So breathe easy. Now, having all that been said, if you think you need to go ahead and clarify more during Ernesto or just let him work on those finances based on what I said, I'm going to let him finish for you. And many blessings. And you're doing fine.
Thank you.
Okay, then. So let me take a look here. Let's see what's happening with you and money right now, because that seems to be your biggest concern. Is this correct?
Well, it's all tied in together. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly one concern.
Okay, it seems like to me that there is some ugliness that's happening with your money. It's now, and this would suggest to me that this is like a woman that, or a female energy that's causing a drain. Do you have like a mother or a grandmother who may be very ill, who doesn't have health insurance, that's just causing you to bleed out the sides, or maybe somebody's involved, like a female that's involved in toxic behavior? Is there anything like that that's going on right now?
Not the health issue, but I'm using the third person just because reasons.
No problem. Go ahead.
Anne does have a lot of chronic issues with enmeshment with her mother.
Okay, then that makes sense. So, would you agree then that your mother is one of the primary sources of distress in a general level in your life?
On a very general level, yes.
And specifically right now, would you say that your mother is causing, let's just say that she has her hooks in your bank account?
Not in my bank account specifically, but the enmeshment issues have led to decades of financial entanglement that I'm broken through it further just recently than I ever have, and I was contacted earlier by my mother, and it's like just instantly I felt this energy of like hooks in my chest, just like, nope, I'm not letting you go.
Okay, all right. So it feels like a psychic attack then?
It felt like a manipulative tactic to kind of keep me psychically entangled. Yes.
I understand. Okay. So now here's the real question. Let's play devil's advocate for a moment and challenge your thoughts. What happens if you make that person's energy go away? If you do everything you can to cut that person out?
Well, that involves actions in the 3D world that meaning like change, totally blocking on any sort of electronic communication and etc. But I can't actually do that right now because the vehicle that I'm using is owned by her ex-husband. So like I'm in a position where I actually can't cut communication until that particular issue is resolved.
Okay, and would you also agree that the thing that's going on with your mother, that this is a massive source of depression in your life?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is just like this is one of those things that, I feel like that you need to really work hard to yank yourself out of this toxic relationship because, those types of things they don't go away easily. Let's be clear that, getting yourself out of that, good luck, like I know in my past when I would try to get away from these people because I needed them, like they would do everything that they could, to make sure that I got back in there. And it's so hard to get yourself out of this, but I really feel like that's the biggest problem that you have right now, is this particular relationship. And I do feel like that, there is an ending that's in sight, but it's, going to be a ways away. You've got at least another year or more of, some really serious soul searching that you're going to have to do to ask yourself those big questions. Now, what happens if I do all of those things that I really don't want to? What happens if I decide to go without? Like, what does that picture look like? You have to start asking yourself these questions here. And regardless of how impossible you may think it may be to do any of those things, you kind of have to start to set the stage for that of, if I do get cut off, if there's a meteor strike, if there's a mass shooting, if there's whatever reason that this person is taken away from you, then how am I going to fare once those changes are in place? So, like I would, I those are the big things. And I really feel like that, that you've got some really serious karma going on right now with this issue. And this also concerns your money. And this is just having to do with the fact that you're going through these lessons that, I need to find my own self-worth. So, because me being beat down all the time by these other people who don't care about me in the way that I care about myself, that really ruins my life. And why should I continue to, play these games? And then the bigger questions come in of how am I expected to have, love relationships and, marriage partnerships and all of those kinds of things when I can't even, do these
Yep.
basic needs for myself.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
absolutely.
how are you doing for work these days? Are you thinking about changing careers or going into something that's more profitable?
Well, and I know how you feel about Western astrology, and that's not really the point. I've been pursuing professionalism and income in my work as a Western astrologer,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been studying for a long time with a prominent school, and so I know I have a lot of talent and skill in the field, so that's what I'm pursuing. Or I'm also a writer. I would love to be able to earn money in a field and skill set that I am naturally good at. But I've been stuck in a hamster wheel for 4.5 years doing food delivery at a poverty level. I've been living in my car. It's been really, really bad. So I need a career change.
Well, I always it's really funny. After I got a university degree, right? And then when I graduated, I didn't really know what industry I wanted to go into for work. I was really deluding myself into doing this whole eat, pray, love thing that I'm only going to follow my dreams and I'm only going to do those types of jobs. Well, that leads to some really difficult conversations about why does my life suck? And then, through the whole counseling process, it was funny. I kept telling my therapist, I did not go to school to get, a 5-year degree to work in a call center. And guess what? That's exactly what I did for 3 years. And I loved every single moment of it. So, those things that you keep telling yourself that, I don't want to do that. That's too beneath me. At a certain point, you sort of have to wonder, the situation that I'm in is so bad. And if I have to take whatever steps are necessary to get myself out of it, then, what would happen if I did that job that I just think is so trash that I don't want to get into? Is it really that worse than, to work retail customer service, to have people screaming at you, than to do this food delivery stuff that doesn't really, make me happy? At least I'm around people, at least I figured out how to professionally disrespect consumers. I learned a whole bunch of stuff through working in a call center and how to handle myself with people that I never used to know. So that was really great information for me. Now my thing for you is, and as far as the job is concerned, that Let me see here. Let me take a look at a couple of things. I just feel like, you know, like one of the things that I do is I'm sort of a Reddit whore. I like to look at a lot of different subreddits. And one of the ones that I look at quite often is poverty finance. People who are talking about, you know, like affordable recipes that are healthy, you know, on a budget, those kinds of things. And then it's mostly the anti-work crowd that are just complaining about like my life sucks because I work entry-level positions. But one thing that I do notice across the board is that people will say, well, you know, the real reason I can't do anything with myself is because I don't have good education. You know, I don't have that knowledge. So I always tell people freecodingcamp.org, that's a free website. You can go out and teach yourself how to code. A lot of people, you know, like they go out there, they learn these skills and then they get real jobs with corporations that are actually pretty decent. So those are the kinds of things that I think that often help when it comes to, you know, finding new work that you really like is, you know, expanding your education and getting something that's accredited that looks good on paper, you know, like University of Phoenix, not so much. Like a lot of HR professionals will just kind of tell you, well, we don't really consider those degrees because they're considered easy since they're at home. And you know, that school isn't really as great as what some of the other ones could be. But I feel like that for you in particular, and that the going back to school conversation, that's something that you would really benefit from right now. And you know, getting some more knowledge under your belt so that way you can go into an industry that does work for you. And also you have the added advantage of, you know, like doing student loans to pay for living expenses, so you don't have to feel quite so pressured by all of the just general BS that's going on right now.
Well, actually, I don't have that luxury. I've already been to school. I have probably $100,000 out in student loans already. I'm not eligible for any of those programs.
So this is what you need to do, Anne. First step is ask yourself what you do want to do. What do I want to do? Well, I want out of that situation. Okay, but micromanage it right down to the steps of pay them.
Hold on. All right, sorry. I didn't hear the last 5 seconds of what you said. All I heard was the word micromanaging.
I hear you, baby, in the back. So this is what I'm going to tell you. Think about what you do want. Literally micromanage the bigger picture down to what you can handle. Okay, well, I can't handle anything more than what I'm doing. Then do that. Do what you're doing, because you really can't handle anything more than it. So
no, I really can't. I have a pretty severe post-traumatic stress disorder situation.
Right. So that's what I'm telling you. What you have to look at then is what's right in front of you first. Well, I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about that, and I need that. So what can I do something about right now? I can do something about my mental health. And no matter how I have to handle that, I have something that I have to handle it for, i.e. the kids in the background that you love so dearly, getting off your stress. So mom, your priority right now is to yourself and to that immediate other. That immediate other needs your attention first. So you have to calm down. You have to allow yourself to know that you were told you're going to be fine. You don't know how, you don't know when, but you're going to start looking for opportunities instead of thinking that I'm going to be declined. I've been told no so many times. I'm tired of looking. I'm scared to death to even ask and try to get help. So I'm shut down. Okay, be shut down, but be shut down with them in mind that baby needs you first. So love always comes from, and understand that when you're giving that baby love, when you're loving up on that baby, know that that baby's here for you right now as much as you are in stress. All right. So what can you do something about? Well, I can love up on my baby, and I can start figuring out how I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of, and that's my mental and emotional health first. You've got a car, it's a chain, and every time they want to jerk on it, you feel it, but at least it's wheels, so you have transportation. And you can get what you need, because if you look back at the things that you've received, you understand you've gotten what you needed along the way, so just keep going on that. your diligence.
Yeah, I
Don't
have.
mess
I always
along the
have
way.
gotten what I need.
I know it. And you need to think about the positive things right now. And the positive part of why you're stuck in this situation. There's something you're dogged down and you don't want to see. It's not missing. You just need to expand and understand. You got to stretch just a little bit. Stretch just a little bit outside of this comfort zone. Get some rest to the best of your ability. If you can get someone who's watched sibling, child, like anybody to take care of this little one, get some rest. And then when you start to think that you're ready, start thinking about what you can do. Now, I would suggest strongly you go to the website and give us a referral so you can get your butt into the drawing for a spirit guide circle. Okay?
All right.
Yeah, and I just want to leave you with this, while I still have you on the line with us, that, like, if when your mother walks out of your life and, like that you've cut that situation out, you're going to go through some pretty heavy Stockholm syndrome afterwards, where you're going to feel like, that you're worthless, that, you don't know how to function or survive or to do anything, that, like this crazy person who's been my avatar for the past who knows how long, that, that I don't know how to live without them. Well, all of those feelings are going to be okay, and that's to be expected. So, feel free to reach out, and like we can, talk to you about some strategies about how to work with that mental place, because it's very difficult when you have that type of toxic relationship that's finally removed from your life, and then you realize, oh my God, I'm really worthless. I went through this myself a couple of years ago, when I started this program, way back when, was that I had parted ways with somebody, and it didn't sit well with me. I didn't know where to go, and it was very distressing, and it took me a year or more before I got over it. But I just want to let you know now that, if you just feel like that the sense of depression is more overwhelming than what it is currently, it does get better. Just give it some time, and don't be so in your head. Don't be so afraid to reach out to people, and there are people in your environment that are willing to talk to you. And if there's not, remember that you can always go and post on the internet, because that's what most people do.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it was great to have you on the show with us. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share, and go over to my website and get yourself into that drawing by leaving us a review.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks a lot. Take care until next time.
All right.
Okay, so I believe we got to everybody. Let me see here. Maria, are you still there on the line with us?
Yes.
Okay, great. Did we get to you today? Did we speak to you today yet?
Yes.
We did. Okay.
No, you're not getting it.
All right. So,
You're taking me?
yes, I got you here. Perfect. All right, Maria, I have your chart up on the screen. Do you have a question, or do you just want a general reading today?
Yes, general reading, please.
Okay, sure. All right, Veretta?
Okay. Well, so I need you to take a breath and think to the bottom of your feet as you exhale. Take a breath. There you go. All right. I want to say you have blessings from Mother Mary coming to you right now. I want to say that there's a very strong connection for you with her, and you have many people in spirit that are wanting to tell you that I'm not sure what I'm hearing. Either they adore you or are on board with what you are doing. And I feel like many saints, many blessings are being given to you daily. And you have what you'll deserve, and you'll get what you need, and more will come. And it feels to me like I can't even put a general direction on how these blessings are going to be received. but the feeling, it's just like the whole essence of your well-being is what's affected, to substantiate who you are, um, your love, your whatever's going on, or whatever's needing in the moment. You're going to receive it. And again, many blessings from spirit to you. And when I say from spirit, I mean people that you love that have passed on. And there's a male energy very, very near and dear to you, close to you, by your side. I feel a mother and a father energy that steps up. I feel grandparents on one side that step up. I feel like there's a lot of people that are showing right now you the love and support that you need and deserve, and that you may want to know that they're there. So they're telling you, hello, Maria.
Oh, thanks. Okay, my mother, father, my husband.
And I feel like, you talk to them daily, or you can communicate to them on your own, but just mentioning them for you allows you to know that they're there, and it just validates and strengthens your communication ability and level with them. You just and Mother Mary comes through with to just know that yes, your prayers are heard. Your prayers are heard, so they don't just reach a void. But sometimes we can't answer what you need in the way you want it, and sometimes we can't answer you at all because there are things to be learned by those decisions that are being made in those moments. But just know everything is heard.
You see me say go in Italy this year?
See.
Hello.
And Ernesto, can you give her more?
Sure, yeah. So, Maria, I know we talked with you a couple of weeks ago, and it had to do with, a property issue in Italy, I believe. So, there's not a whole lot I can say more about that because that's just something that's going to take some time to work itself out. But as far as, like a blessing or a devotion of the day, sure, let's take a look at that one. So, if you're watching our YouTube cast, you can see that I put some orange squares on the screen. That's the sun. In the third ring, we have the sun of the day, and we look at the midpoint of the transiting sun in the third ring and your natal sun in the first ring. So that kind of tells us, like what's a blessing for the day today. We see that you have Hades and Jupiter along with Mercury. So, that can be, so Mercury is going to be conversations very simply. And, the Hades part is going to bring in, like a lot of that unknown spirit, secret energy. And then you have the Jupiter, which is, just to have a good time or to have, abundance. So you right now, my as Veretta was saying that, you have all of these people in spirit that you can have conversations with. Yeah, today's a really great day for you to, kind of hang out with these other spirit friends, to have conversations with them, to receive messages. It's a really nice time for that today in particular. So my advice to you is, your prayers, they really pay attention to that inside knowing, that that sense of consciousness that's behind your eyes, that dark spot, when you pay attention to your breath through the whole meditation process, that's going to be when you're going to start to connect to those ethers or to those spirit worlds. And I feel like that, you're really just going to like the conversations that you have. So pay attention to that in your thoughts and prayers, that, that whatever you put your mind to, that's going to come out. So, Maria, my thing for you today is, say a prayer, spend some time in meditation and, and enjoy the results, because everybody's with you right now and it's a great time to be alive.
Thank you.
All right. Well, it was great to have you on the show, Maria. We'll catch up with you next time.
Thank you. God bless you.
Take care. Good. Okay, so it looks like that we have gone through our queue for today. Finished up a little bit early. It was great to have all of our new callers and our subscribers come back to us today. We will be back with you guys on Wednesday. That's going to be, let's see here, that'll be on the 29th, and that's going to be at our 7 o'clock time slot. So that'll be 7 o'clock Arizona time or Mountain Standard, because I guess that's where we're at right now. We'll be back with you for a 1 hour offering. And remember, for everybody who was on the program today, be sure to go out to my website, eastrologer.net, and leave us a review at the bottom of that page. It really does get you into the drawing for the free Spirit Circle Pass. And we'll be doing that drawing next month in July, on the fourth Wednesday of the month. So, Veretta, it was awesome to have you on the show as always. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch up with you guys soon. And until next time. All right, take care, you guys, and until next time, good luck and Godspeed.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for